Good morning. Happy Saturday. I am now coming to you with a fresh new router. I finally bought a new one. My old one was like over a decade old, and apparently that's a bad thing. Uh, and it looks like I'm not dropping, the bitrate isn't in the red anymore. So hopefully that solves the connectivity problems that I've been having. Today we're continuing the Unplayed series. I wished to show you this game last week, but because of the connectivity problems I was having, I didn't. And unfortunately, now the Humble Bundle is no longer active. It was an award nominated Humble Bundle with a bunch of games in it, including this one. It also had Cobalt Core, which I already own, and I now have an extra key for. So if somebody wants a key for Cobalt Core, let me know, because it expires by December 31st if it's not used. And I paid for it, dang it. But yeah, I had another interesting game in it too called The Veil, which is apparently probably not a good streaming game. It is apparently like audio only, and you're playing as a blind princess in an RPG. So that sounds really interesting. But yeah, I wasn't interested in all of the games in the bundle. There are some like first person shooters that I was like, okay, well, not interested in this. But this one seemed very interesting. This game is an RPG with card based combat, is how it described itself. And if we go in here, we've got some content warnings. So I figured I would click through these. Major character death, children in peril dying, animal cruelty and death, yada yada yada. There's implied sex, but no actual. So yeah, I guess we can go ahead and get started. New game. Wake up. Okay. Yep. Huh. Yeah, trauma immediately. There's fire. Your head is pounding. You must have hit it and blacked out. You aren't sure how you got here or what on Vertumna's happening. There's something important you need to remember. Your stomach lurches as the floor crumbles beneath you. Oh, and then collapses. Your body aches and your eyes burn from the smoke. A figure appears through the flames. It's your friend. Your friend? Wait, why can't you remember her name? She is gesturing and shouting at you, but all you hear is a ringing in your ears. You try to stand up, but one of your legs folds uselessly underneath you. It won't hold your weight. Your friend pulls you out of the rubble. She throws your arm over her shoulder and half drags you toward the door. Through it, you see a deep, eerie twilight, dark blue and cold against the heat of the fire around you. Glow season. Glowing eyes. You shake your head to clear your vision. Is that some kind of dog, like from Earth? The creature howls and lunges, its jaws open. You were born on the Stratospheric, Earth's first colony ship, halfway through its 20-year voyage to a wormhole at the edge of the Sol system. Your parents run the hydroponic gardens, which make fresh air and vegetables for the ship. Like the other colonists, they bravely chose to make this one-way journey to the uncharted planet Vertumna 4 in the hopes that they could escape Earth's troubles. They had you the old-fashioned way, merging their genes like they merged their cultures and traditions. They name you... Solanacea? Solana, Solane, or something else. Let's go with Solane. Selene, you're a bright-eyed child with an active imagination, sometimes too active, your mom says. Use the sliders on the left to choose pronouns and late teens appearance. These can be changed at any time. You have vivid dreams of things you've never experienced. Dirt under your feet, skies overhead, endless jungles, and strange animals. You wonder if this is what Vertumna will be like. Every child on the stratospheric is given one genetic enhancement. By age 6, you see the first signs of yours. Eagle eyes, extra fingers, absorbent brain, super strength, calm temperament, nothing at all. Huh. Let's go with the calm temperament. Nothing can faze you. You're rarely frustrated. You don't let anxiety get the better of you. You brush insults aside, always play nice, and never have to be told that sharing is caring. You're especially nice to your friend. Energetic and loyal Anemone. Tough and gentle Cal. Bold and confident Mars. Quiet and adventurous Dis. Studious and mature Tangent, or shy and sweet Tammy. We're making choices here. We're making choices. Let's go with someone energetic to balance out my calm. Anemone is the most enthusiastic person you know. Your favorite memory is the time she taught you how to play zero-G sports ball after class. She never means to get you into trouble, but somehow you always seem to find it together. Well, maybe I can look at each one. Okay. Cal's a sweetheart, always ready to lend a hand or play a game. He and Tammy are just as inseparable, so it's almost like you have two best friends instead of one. Cal teaches you how to take care of the classroom plants. Your parents are very proud of both of you. Mars is a natural leader. Whenever you're all playing together, Mars is the one who comes up with all the ideas. She can be a little bossy, but that's part of her charm. She always organizes fun stuffs for the kids after class. You're both founding members of Secret Fun Times Club. Okay, I'm not as interested in Mars. Unlike his studious twin sister Tangent, Dis sits at the back of the classroom and doodles on his hollow palm. You bond while cracking jokes about the weird diagrams in your textbooks. His quiet nature and morbid curiosity make him somewhat of a loner, but at least he has a friend in you. Tangent. Tangent sits right up by the hollow projector, always has her hand in the air. She and her twin brother Dis drifted apart when she started genome treatment to make her body conform to her gender. Today, Tang is the girl you always knew she was, or Tange is the girl you always knew she was, but her relationship with Dis is worse than ever. Tammy is the kindest person you know. She idolizes Antecedent and is always following her around, helping her with the babies or learning how to cook. Tammy looks like an alien. The ears. She has the best snacks at class recess and always shares, especially with you and Cal. She and Cal are just as close, so it's kind of like having two best friends. I stick by my original choice. You're 10 years old when the ship finally reaches the wormhole. Professor Hal says it's like a doorway to other star systems, with planet Vertumna 4 on the other side. You run emergency drills for months to prepare. When the day finally comes, it starts with a rumble, and then things start to slide off the tables. You hurry to gather near the escape pods just in case. The emergency area is crowded with families. It's going to be fine, Selene, your dad soothes. We'll be through the wormhole and down on the planet before you know it, just like we practiced. Your mom gives him a sharp, worried look. Red emergency lights switch on as a siren begins to sound somewhere distant in the ship. You try to breathe slowly like you were taught, but you're very scared. You look out a porthole. The stars are gone. When you're frightened, you put on a tough face, get in touch with your emotions, or find a distraction. I don't have organizing fiber gray hair. I think get in touch with my emotions, probably yes. You bawl like a baby. It feels good. Stress cry. You aren't the only one. Nearby, your classmate Tammy has tears streaming down her cheeks. Mars is trying to console her. She sighs as your crying makes Tammy wail more loudly. Your dad puts his arm around you as you let it out. You wait, the shaking builds. Then everything starts to get very weird. The hall stretches, and you're stretching too, your arms impossibly long. Your head feels like it's slowly filling up like a balloon and contracting down to the size of an atom at the same time. Is this the wormhole? You hear the distant, ominous squeal of metal giving way as the ship shudders and lurches in slow motion. The weirdest part is a sense of deja vu. You're sure this has happened to you before, and you know somehow that everything's going to be okay. The shuddering reaches a crescendo. You hear an impossibly loud crunch and feel weightless for a few seconds before gravity slams you back against the wall, head first, and you black out. As you slip unconsciousness, you feel twisted out of time. It's today, yesterday, and tomorrow all at once. And more than just one tomorrow, lots of them. Different tomorrows. You find yourself in a place that you know from your dreams. Tilled feels dramatic ridges and a stranger, but also not a stranger, grinning as she grabs your hand. Hurry up, she says. I'm not going to let you miss this. Distantly, you can feel the ship shaking has stopped and hear your parents' worried voices. Feeling safe, you slip further into the warm embrace of the stars. You drift. Gradually, your consciousness reforms. You wake up in the med bay. The med bed under you plays a soft tone, and an automated voice speaks. 2 weeks have elapsed. The patient's cranial injury has completed healing. They may now be safely discharged. As the fog lifts from your head, you realize something different about this room. It's so bright. You try to focus on the window. Something is different. Sunlight. Instead of the familiar blackness of space, bright light from twin blue and yellow suns is streaming through the windows. You peer out and see fields, glass-walled domes, and walls ringed by giant mushroom-like trees. There are construction materials everywhere and people walking outside on the ground. You better get out there and join them. Rush outside to start your new life or cautiously step outside to your new life. Say rush outside. Ah, now we can move around. WASD. Strato Colony. Oh, Tammy jumps as you step out of the ship's quarters behind her. You're awake. Are you all better? You better go see your dad. She points southeast towards some geodesic domes. To walk, click on the ground, and click on characters to talk to them. Oh, so you don't have to use WASD. You can just use the mouse. Tammy looks concerned. You slept so long after you bumped your head, she said. I bet your parents were worried. Your dad is working in geoponics near those domes. They're called greenhouses. I would go with you, but, well, this is as far as I've been from the ship since we landed, Tammy stammers, blushing. It's scary outside. Okay. Yeah, I guess they were born on the ship, so that's probably... Engineering. A low throbbing noise comes from the engine room, which provides power to the colony. Other corridors lead off to the teaching labs and medbay. You know the route to your classroom well, but the rest of the wing is off limits to children. Congruence, the ship's onboard AI, beams down at you from a nearby holoscreen. Don't forget to study hard, Selene. Alright. What dis? The garrison. A small team led by Security Chief Rhett was enough to keep the peace on the stratospheric. To stay busy, they also ran the exercise gym and sports ball courts. Here on Vertumna, the garrison has expanded fast. They're building a huge wall around the colony and have an outdoor firing range and a big covered dojo. And best of all, a regulation-sized sports ball court. Yay. Sports ball. Oh, and there's a wall around the colony. Cool. That's my dad. Solane, your dad gives you a big warm hug. I'm so happy you're finally awake. Dr. Instance thought it'd be best to keep you asleep while your noggin healed. Your mother and I thought you might slip away the whole year, my snoozy little gooseberry. He checks your head and looks relieved. He was clearly very worried about you, but covers it with jokes and smiles. Aw, you love your dad. Welcome to Vertumna, he says, gesturing around you. You've never seen the stratospheric from the outside, except in pictures. The ship has been separated in two, and parts taken off to form other buildings and a big wall around the colony. The alien jungle creeps right up to the wall. Only the geodesic greenhouses pass outside it, dotting their way up the hill. How did you do this so fast? You've been asleep for weeks, my dear aubergine, he says, and these geodesic greenhouses practically put themselves up. But some of this is only a quick temporary solution, he admits. We'll keep growing and improving things. One day our little colony will be as big as a whole city. Oh, before I forget, he pulls a package out from his satchel and hands it to you. You blink and stare at it blankly. Don't you know what day it is, he asks. You honestly don't. You remind him you've been asleep in the medbay. Happy birthday, he shouts, wrapping you in a warm hug. Your birthday already? You feel a dizzying sense of deja vu. You stare hard at the wrapped package. You know exactly what is in there. You remember it. No, you dreamed about this package some years ago on the ship. Inside will be a small medallion in the shape of a sun that your dad made by hand. You describe the medallion, and your dad tisks as he hands you the package. Aw, who ruined the surprise? Was it Seek? I bet it was Seek. They hate fun. He grins and adds, don't tell them I said that. You start to explain nobody told you, but someone shouts your dad's name. Listen, I'm so sorry, Selene, but I have to get back to work. There was an accident when we landed, and don't worry, we're going to fix it, your mother and I. Okay. So, probably something having to do with going through the wormhole has affected how I am experiencing time. Professor Hal is expecting you in classes if you're feeling up to it, your dad says, pointing west to the engineering wing and the rear end of the bisexed ship. Then he points to the large doors you came out of earlier. Or you can relax in our quarters till you're feeling better. We can talk later tonight, he says, kisses the top of your head, ruffles your hair. Have a wonderful birthday, Selene. I love you. Unlocked. Study humanities and engineering. I love you too, Dad. To enter buildings, click on a door or the flag beside it, or get close and press enter or another action button. Then choose an activity from the month and then choose an activity for the month to gain skills and advance time. There are 13 months a year and 10 years to the end of the game. You'll only have time to focus on a few things. Oh, hello. You see Dis sitting on the ground beside some bushes. Is he hiding from somebody? He seems to be watching the gate in the wall to the south, where grown-ups are coming and going. Kids aren't allowed past the walls, he says quietly without looking up. They say there's nothing to be afraid of, but then why do we need walls? You stare at the gate and have a sudden rush of memory so strong you think you might faint. You imagine something crashing through the wall, something enormous, dark, and wriggly. For years in space, you've had half-remembered nightmares of monsters, of your ship being destroyed, of sifting through wreckage that used to be your home, trying to find something. Your dad always told you the dreams weren't real. Breaking from your daydream, Dis whispers, I think there are monsters out there. Our parents will keep us safe. Maybe, Dis mumbles. He doesn't look convinced. He looks down at his feet. If you believe everything they say, I guess you should go to school now, like a good girl, he sneers. You shake the vision from your head. It was just a dream. Dis made you imagine it with his creepy talk. Why does he always have to be like this? Okay. Going around. I think this was the medbay? What is this? Oh, it's command. Command is a warren of long hallways with doors to tiny nondescript offices. Everyone you pass seems to be hurrying off to something important. The end of one hallway opens to the supply depot, which works as both a requisitions office and a general store. Beyond it are cavernous warehouses, stacked high with supplies from Earth, now being gradually unpacked and distributed. I think I'm just going to leave. I kind of want to go to school, actually. Which I think I've already been. This was the medbay. And school is over here. Well, I guess I'll study humanities? Welcome, Selene. Professor Howell greets you. I hope you're all warmed up and ready to study glorious humanities, history, literature, language, media, and philosophy. And yes, if you're lucky, we'll have a little ancient earth poetry too. He seems excited about that last bit. By the way, if anyone is interested in taking engineering classes, please register through Congress's scheduling system when you have the chance. She'll be helping me teach them. Today's assignment is an easy one, Hal says with yawn, because I was up late repairing Congress's subterminal and I could use a nap. I'd like to write an essay on what the Vertumna colony means to you. Freedom, equality, democracy. My friends are all here. I feel safe here. Just doodle instead of writing. um, okay. I mean, this is what I would do, probably. Freedom, equality, and democracy. Oh, I keep doing this flag. I don't know what this flag means. Ah, okay, so this is loyalty to the government and this is rebellion. You list all the keywords you can think of to describe an ideal government. Did you say freedom yet? Although you aren't totally sure if the colony's government is a real democracy. You know the council votes on things, but you don't get to vote. And who chooses the council members anyway? The governor? Who chooses the governor? The council? You may be just a kid, but you can tell you're missing something here. All right. Okay. That gave us information. When you go to work or class, you'll play a quick card challenge as the month passes. Move cards to fill the 5 panes and make the best hand you can. Yes, order matters. If your total in the circle on the right reaches the goal value, you win. Depending on your cards, some challenges can't be won, but you'll still get a reward for doing your best. Okay. Bonus for pairs that are the same number together. The more cards in a flush, pair, or straight, the higher the bonus added to your total. Cards can also affect each other and can be rearranged to find the best total score. Okay, so I want a flush. And by flush, of course, I mean a full house. Your skills increase when you go to school, go to work or school with extra skills if you win the challenge, and a kudos bonus if you make the highest scoring hand with your cards. Working also increases stress, which prevents you from working if it reaches 100. To relieve stress, take a month off to relax in the quarters wing. And I have an additional friendship with Tangent. And I have an increase of creativity, persuasion, and I got a kudos because I apparently got the best score I could. Nice. Well, it seems like I picked a pretty good perk. If everything that I learn and do increases stress, it seems like having the calm temperament perk is like a good all around. So I think I picked a good thing for my first run. Your parents have been working from first dawn to well after dinner every day. You know growing food is an important job and it's vital to get crops in the ground right away, but there seems to be something more than that. It's such a change from growing up on the stratospheric, when you saw them all the time. You stay up and wait for them at night before going to bed. Though you can tell they're exhausted, they make an effort to spend time with you. I'm sorry we haven't seen much of you, little gooseberry, your dad says. Your mom watches you as she works a pebble out of her gardening tiller, which also serves as a crutch. How have you been holding up? I learned some stuff in school. I'm glad to hear that, your mom says. I want you to study hard, work hard, stay out of trouble. Your dad smiles, and Professor Howell will give you kudos if you get good grades. You can spend those at the depot once it's open. You know, says your dad, raising an eyebrow at your mom, I think there are lots of different ways to learn, and school is just one of them. You can learn from working on a hobby or by helping a friend. Your mom shakes her head and sighs, though you can tell she's trying to put on a gentle expression. We both agree that this colony is an experiment, and that means we're going to do things differently than on Earth. You're old enough now to start making your own decisions about your education and future. And if that means you find your own way, we'll accept that. Oh, it's like Sudbury School. You get to do what you want. Your dad puts a hand on your shoulder. We'll be proud of you no matter what you do. Try talking to your friends. They may have ideas for how you can spend your time. And come by geoponics. We could use your help. Unlock shoveling dirt in geoponics. We've gone from the early quiet to the mid-quiet. Are there other people standing around that I can talk to? Yes. A sharp whistle interrupts your thoughts. Hey, Selene, Mars calls out to you. Come here, I have a job for you. You walk over to Mars, who's sheltering from the snow under the ship's overhang. It's so gross here, she complains. The spark snow would ruin my good clothes. At least on the ship we have climate control. Ugh. Tammy made me some soy sweets, but there's no way I'm going out there in all this weather, she continues. Since you like running around in it, could you fetch them for me? Okay. Good, Mars claps. She's probably just down the hill near our quarters. She's scared to take more than a few steps from the door. All she wants to do is hide inside and make sweets. Did you need something? I'm here for Mars' soy sweets. Oh, it's nice to know you can help out Mars. She's a very important person, you know. Please tell her, Mars, that she can have the scarf back. She used some of her kudos to nano-print it for me because it's so dusty here, but I think I'm getting used to it now. Mars is so cool. Sometimes she's kind of bossy, but I know she really cares, too. Nice. Persuasion. Here it is. Hand over the box. You're such a good sidekick, doing everything I say. She opens the box and hands you a soy sweet. Your tip. Oh, an administrator seeks looking for someone to do delivery jobs for the depot. I don't want to do it because, ew, running around out there? No. Just go through there and tell them I referred you. Okay. Oh. Do I have organizing tenor grader? It looks like I have organizing 0. Yeah, I do have organizing 0s. Okay, so I'm gonna leave in that case. Maybe I can improve my organizing by going to school. Also, she looks like you have something to say. You know, hold it back. You were used to play with her. Tammy had the best doll collection. After her mom died, her dad used all his nanoprinter creds to print her a different doll for every month of the year. Heck yeah, I want to play dolls. I don't think Tammy will ever be too old to play with dolls. If anything, she's even more than them now. She takes to her quarters and brings out her entire Stacy doll collection. A disturbingly realistic baby with real bowel movements and 2 super fancy posable dolls named Lily and Tilly, who can be programmed to move on their own. Tammy isn't very good at the programming, so Lily and Tilly just roll around awkwardly when you turn them on. You cover quickly by saying they must be breakdancing at a club. The two of you spend the afternoon making up stories of their rise to professional stardom as dancers. Aw, that's nice. I'm gonna go back to school. Study life sciences. We're going to call the wet sciences: biology, chemistry, medicine, ecology, and geology. You'll learn a little bit of everything with opportunities for further study in your favorite field. If you're looking for something a little drier, try registering for engineering classes. Well, I don't have anything like that. So, I think it's going to be a 2-pair. But it doesn't seem like that was the best I could do. So that's interesting. I probably should have kept rearranging them. Maybe if I put them in chronological order, that might have been better. This week, you had a few more bouts of deja vu, remembering what somebody is about to say or do just before they do it. Sometimes they actually do it. Or do it just, but not always. This morning, you were sure Professor Howell was going to trip on the uneven floor in the cafeteria and spill his plate of hash browns. You even told Mars to watch. He didn't, though. After Professor Howell walked away, hash browns safe for today. Mars called you a liar and a dummy. At night, your dreams are all mixed up with stuff you know can't be real. You're chased by monsters the sides of buildings, only to be saved by strange people you've never met. You're holding hands with someone you love. You're crying as you help lift a shrouded body into the colony recycler. Everything seems so familiar, but when you try to recall the faces when you wake up, they're smeared in your memory like wet paint. But what if those things haven't happened yet, but they will someday? Anytime you try to tell someone, they think you're playing a trick or that you're sick and need to go to medbay. You eventually decide to stay quiet about your strange dreams. Why? You don't want people to worry. You just want to be normal. Secret powers are fun. Yeah. I just want to be normal. Just want to be a regular kid like everyone else. You look at the sun medallion your dad carved for you, the one you saw in the dream before you ever saw it for real. Maybe you just got a little mixed up, or you overheard someone talking about it, and that's how you knew what it looked like. There has to be a rational explanation for this. Gaslighting yourself. Tangent is hunched over her hollow palm, frowning and poking angrily at the air. She speaks at you without looking up. Professor Howell wants to prep a list of native flora with pictures. There should be a catalog on the colony holonet, but I can't find it anywhere. Lance tried looking outside. I'll help you find that catalog. Let's make our own list. Was that a joke? Well, it's not funny, Selene. I need to finish this bio assignment so I can start in the engineering lab for lunch. And then I have a physics quiz to study for. If you want help, go kick a ball or something with the other kids. You switch away. Sorry, I forgot about you. Back to her hall palm. Okay, so she's a little insufferable. That's fine. Let's talk to mom and dad. Find your mom hard at work setting up the greenhouses with a small construction crew. You've seen these plans pinned to the wall of your family's quarters for years now. These geodesic domes will house the more delicate plants from Earth, spinach, tomatoes, maybe even fruit. She takes a swig from her canteen as you approach. Looking for something to do? Remember, Selene, you're responsible for your own schedule now that we've landed. You can decide how to spend your time, so long as it's productive. Points to the engineering wing. Professor Hall's still expecting you in class, but a well-rounded education includes practical application. You're old enough to help with the work around here. I've got another minute. Anything you need to know? What are you doing in geoponics? We're doing our best, but it hasn't been easy. I just hope the potatoes and corn can handle the weather here. I hear it rains like hell in the wet season. She takes a long look at you up and down. You're going fast, Selene, but you're still too young for real farming. Instead, well, there's a lot of soil that needs to be hauled. Seeing your disappointment, she nudges you. Don't pout. It'll help build those muscles. You need them now that we're out in the real world doing real work. Out here, we have to rely on our physical strength. She flexes her biceps. Your mom is really strong. What's happening in engineering? Hal's teaching classes on life science, engineering, and humanities. You pass all your tests, maybe he'll let you work there in a few years. Your father thinks you're old enough that school is optional. I don't agree, but I'll be honest with you. We do need every pair of hands we can get. If you want to work with me here in geoponics, I'd suggest studying life science. If you don't have a good grasp of biology and ecology, I'm going to stick you on shovel duty. What can I do in the quarters? If you need a break, you can visit the lounge and see your friends, but I don't want to see you lounging all the time. You need to work hard, too. What's in the garrison? Security Chief Rhett was organizing a sports ball team. You used to play, didn't you, back on the ship? It'll be different here with the planet's gravity. Of all the adults in the colony, Rhett and your mom are the most like soldiers you'd see on a holovid. For the moment, you think your mom's going to suggest something else, but she shakes your head. You're too young for defense training, so don't worry about that just yet. Enjoy yourself and stay out of trouble. What's going on in command? I think Seek said they need someone to deliver supplies from the depot. They're also setting up a shop there, if you got some kudos to spend. And, of course, that's where Captain Governor Udicott works. But you shouldn't bother her. She's a busy woman. She doesn't have your mother's patience with kids. Try not to giggle. Your mom's not usually known for her patience. Can I join expeditions? Oh, you're too young to leave the colony. It's dangerous. Your father would be worried. There's so much we still don't know about the world out there. Let the adults find out. Then maybe you can join them a few years when you're older. For now, stay inside the walls. Okay, bye. Hello, my little potato. What have you been up to today? Hanging with my friends. That cow's a good boy, he says. Have you seen Anemone? She's been out by the garrison playing sports ball. I think she spent every day outside since we landed. Guess that's what happens when you've got enough brothers to make your own sports ball team. Vertumna's magnificent, isn't it? Seasons! I missed seasons. Back on Earth it gets much, much colder, and the snow wasn't half as pretty as our spark snow. You just wait until dust season. Both the suns will be high in the sky, and it'll be real hot then. You'll see. Cal is riding around the geoponics gardens on his hoverboard. The board comes to a sudden shuddering halt as he stops as the rocky ground in front of you. Cal falls off but catches his balance before he eats dirt. Hi, Selene. Real ground is way harder to hover on than ship floors. There are bumps everywhere. We all have to adapt. Yeah, things are actually way, way better planet side. Hovering outside is rad. Look at this. Look at this. It's a skate bowl. cool. Can I try? Sure, but please be careful. Mom says if I break my hoverboard, we can't make another one. You take turns riding around the bowl, trying to get up to enough speed going down one side to come back up on the other. You don't land any tricks. It's hard just staying on the board with this uneven ground, but it's still fun. You're just going to enter with your brain misreading the title and seeing I was a teenage exocolonist. How you doing, Super Bass? I'm gonna try and find Anemone. Anemone's supposed to be like my best childhood friend. Ah, there they are. Yay. Anemone is bumping a sports ball with her wrist, trying to keep it up in the air. Heads up. Do a trick. Catch the ball with your wrists, bop it up, and headbutt back to Anemone. Whoa, nice move, Selene. You're fair, still convincing your brain to read titles a second time. You bounce the ball back and forth with her, trying to see how many times you can rally, keep it going. Anemone tells you about the new sports ball court, a proper regulation-sized court, way bigger than the little Zero-G one on the Stratospheric. Her brother Calm is coaching the junior sports ball team this year. He's so great, she says. He's good at everything, especially spiking. He's coaching me to play awesome like him. You should come join us. I have unlocked sports ball in the garrison. Ho ho ho. Maybe I want to play some sports ball. Yeah, so the first 2 months I studied, and now I'm going to do some physical education. But after that, I'm probably going to have to rest because my stress keeps increasing. Even with my stress modifier, I picked a modifier that turned out to be pretty useful. Kombucha offers you a half five in Greening, then tosses a sports ball your way. Let's start a practice game, see what you're good at. You and Anemone are team captains, pick your team. Anemone used to practice with Cal and Mars on the ship, but Tammy, you're surprised to see her here. Calm will fill in to even up the teams, but he promises to go easy on the other side. Oh. I'll choose Cal, I guess. We just did sports together. You don't really like to score against the other team. Okay. This is like they took everyone's least favorite part of Monster Rancher and somehow made a good game out of it. I don't know. I haven't played Monster Rancher. I've been enjoying this so far, though. Mars is a little bit of a bully, I feel like. Um, I enjoyed playing dolls with Tammy. Cal said I should join, but I'm not very good at sports. Where should I stand? You aren't sure. You assign her a tackle back and tell her to stick like glue to the opposing team's spiker. Maybe she'll get in their way instead of yours. You face off in 3-on-3. Start the game. It's a toughness challenge. Looking for more difficulty? This harder card challenge option will keep you on your toes. No, thank you. Want to focus on the story? This will replace future minigames with a quick coin flip based on your age and skills. You can change either option. Okay, so I'm doing regular. Story challenges have 3 rounds instead of 1. After every round, you'll keep your cards you didn't play and unlock an extra slot to play them in. Losing isn't always a bad thing in story challenges. Okay. So this is a story challenge. All right. So you would send it, but it's not on sale in the moment, and $30 is a bit of a pill to swallow. Technically, it's 2 games, 1 and 2 bundled. Ah, got it. But Monster Rancher for your channel would be content. It doesn't appear like I can win this round. We actually won! Yay! And I got -1 stress. Nice. Tammy tackles an enemy in a brilliant takedown that surprises everyone. She really took to her role as the immovable object. Cal makes an amazing jump save, but is winded when the ball hits him in the chest. Score is tied with Anemone and Calm putting the pressure on. Then with Blam, you score the match point with a rad spike all the way from the net line. You worked well this month. I got +1 bravery. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to rest next month. I'm 82 out of 100. It's the early pollen. This is the greenhouse. Heck, I don't remember where anything is. I guess I can talk to people. It doesn't seem like talking to people increases my stress or anything. I need persuasion 20 or greater to tell her about my day. Alright. What's this? I found a hefty red Xeno egg. Alright, cool. Cal's car's beside a big puddle, staring into his reflection. It's just so amazing, don't you think? On the Strato, we could only have very short showers, and we had to reuse the same water over and over. But here, water just falls out of the sky, and then lies around in puddles. Lakes, even. It's a whole thing. Happy watering bot trundles by. I found something you might like. Oh. Tammy's dad is the head of expeditions, which means he'll be out surveying the jungle every day. This morning you see her crying in the doorway as he leaves. I don't like when he goes out there, but he's so brave, and so are you. That's why I like you, Selene. Perform a random act of kindness. You start simple. You give Tammy an enormous hug, sharing the love. Tammy gets lots of hugs, but you make sure this one feels special. She hugs you back, wiggling back and forth happily. She's surprisingly strong. Thanks, Selene. I really, really needed that. Oh, before you go, do you want this cake? They're so fun to make, but I need someone to help me eat them. I'll make you another on your birthday if you like, and we could trade for hugs for cakes again. Aw, that's nice. I think this is adding to my deck, too. Are you practicing for Vertumnalia? There's going to be a festival in dust season, and they're having a bot wrestling contest. I'm going to compete. Maybe she'll like it because she's tough? Whoa, this egg looks tasty. Wait, I can eat this, right? She likes red Xeno eggs. Okay, great. That I guessed correctly. Ah, but the card is now... I no longer have it. That makes sense. Great. Okay. Good afternoon, Curl Page. I hope that you are well. Are you still being a jerk? Okay. I think I need to rest. These the quarters? Yes. Private bedrooms are small. You share one with your parents, so colonists, there's relax lounge. Add relationship with Tammy, -100 stress, and forget one memory, optional. The lounge is a long, well-lit hall along the outer hull of the ship's midsection. It's strewn with tables and cushions and serves as communal living room for the tiny one-room spaces every family's assigned. You flop down into the lounge's big beanbag pile with some of the other kids. Cal has a dazed, peaceful look on his face. The air smells so good on Vertumna, and so does the dirt even. You notice his clothes are filthy, but obviously Cal couldn't care less. Anemone bounces in. Holy crap, there's so much space to run around and play in. Calm and Chief Rhett set up an outdoor sports ball court. It's way huger than the old one on the ship. Tangent carefully selects one cushion from the pile and perches on it. The school is expanding to some of the empty engineering bays, she tells you, and we're getting a big new lab to do experiments using local resources. There's so much to learn about this planet. Anemone rolls her eyes, but Tange continues. We shouldn't forget our studies just because we've landed, she says primly. Tange is right, school's important. Ugh, school, let's play outside. I want to explore the jungle. I miss space. I mean, school is important? Tammy nods in agreement. It's scary out there. I'm going to stay close to our quarters for now. You've had less of the deja vu dreams comes to life feelings this week, and you're starting to think you've even imagined it. But suddenly you get a prickling sensation in the back of your head, and remember that Mars is about to enter the lounge to tell everyone to look outside. You stare at the door. Mars walks in as if on cue. OMG, everybody, look outside. They're hoisting a flag over command. You know what that means, right? She stands tall with her hands on her hips. Vertumna is officially humanity's first exocolony ever. You look at the flag, feeling dizzy, and silently mouth the words along to what she says next. You remember this moment so well. This is history, kids, she exclaims, racking Anemone and Tange under each arm. And we were there. Ah, I can remove. I can remove cards. Okay. You wake from an afternoon nap. You squint in the pink-tinged light slanting through the windows. You must have fallen asleep in the lounge. Tammy's shadow falls across your nest of pillows. Oh, sorry, Selene, she says, giggling. I didn't mean to wake you. It's just so nice outside with pollen sparkling in sunlight. I want to open the windows. You rub your eyes blearily. Ugh, you were having the weirdest dream. Since you're awake, you should visit the cafeteria. Auntie Sedent is making a new kind of candy. She says it's made of cotton. Isn't that weird? I have to go tidy the creche first, and then I'll meet you there. Save some for me, okay? Tammy skips off toward the creche, humming to herself. I'm gonna go get that free candy. Heck yeah. In the cafeteria, Auntie Sedent is cheerfully handing out masses of pink candy, puffy and soft like clouds. Oh, Selene, she says, handing you a wand with some candy spun around the end. Here, try some of this. We used to have it on Earth. You pick off a piece and give it a taste. It's so sweet at first your mouth puckers. You never tasted anything so sweet and so real. It's not at all like soy sweets that the kitchen nanoprinter can make. It melts in your mouth, leaving a gritty residue on your tongue. You wait till everyone is gone, but Tammy never shows up. You look down at the cotton candy in your hands. It's wilted a little from the humidity, but it's kind of like her, you think, pale pink and so soft. You keep some to give her later. You're relaxing in your family's quarters after dinner. Your mom had to run off on some kind of council business, so you and your dad are playing a holo game together. When you're just about ready to head off to bed, your mom returns. You can tell from the defeated slant of her shoulders that something has gone terribly wrong. Your dad starts to ask what happened, but she waves him away and approaches you. She sits down, takes your hand, holding it between her two strong, dirt-creased ones. Oh, shit. Selene, I am so sorry to have to tell you this, she starts. Her mouth quivers as she swallows, working on her next words. There was an accident this afternoon in the creche. Your friend Tammy has died. What? You... Okay, from a game perspective, I'm kind of glad that I did rest just before this, because otherwise I think I would have been totally in... what's it called? Past the amount. Try to understand her words. Tammy is dead? That's not possible. You suddenly remember the cotton candy you were saving to give Tammy, pink and fluffy, just like her hair. You put your hand in your pocket to get it, but what comes out a dark red lump of hard goo? You stared at your mind blank. F's in the chat for Tammy. Yeah. Ask what happened. Your mom tells you as simply as possible Tammy was killed by an electric shock from a broken holo projector. It was just an accident. You press her for an explanation. The little girl is dead. Someone you'd grown up with. Someone so much like you. She wasn't sick or anything. You just saw her this morning. She was right there. Why? Your mom's eyes are sad, and when she tells you, sometimes there's just no reason why. You weren't used to dealing with death, and you don't know what you're supposed to say or do. You sort of mumble, okay, and then get changed and crawl into bed a full hour before your bedtime. You try to fall asleep, but you toss and turn for hours, so you eventually drift off to fitful dreams of that small, sticky red lump of cotton candy. Oh my god. Tan just pacing around in front of engineering. She looks upset. It shouldn't have happened, she says. What happened to Tammy? It shouldn't have been possible. There was no reason for the hollow projector to break. Professor Howell says she was just recently serviced. Nothing was wrong with it before. She gestures angrily, just blew up for no reason. Nobody would have wanted to hurt her, so why? How? It doesn't add up. Sorry, Selene. I want to think about this some more. I hate when I can't find the answer. So that's how she's dealing with it. You believe Tammy died? Dis asks morbidly. I heard Chief Engineer Instance tell someone about it. He lowers his voice. Tammy got shocked by a broken hollow projector, the one in the creche with the dancing teddy bear, you remember? When she touched it, she got chucked all the way across the room. He makes a sailing motion with his hand, and bam! She was dead before she even landed. I didn't want to know that. Oh, sorry, Dis replies, tugging his sleeves of his oversized jacket. Oh, I'll shut up now, sorry. Dis is so weird. And then he's chucking rocks at the strato, sending metallic clangs ringing through the colony. Stupid planet, she yells. Stupid creche. Stupid spaceship. She bends down to pick up another rock. She says, she sobs and braces her hands on her knees. Stupid everything. Why'd she have to die? It's not fair. Kids aren't supposed to die. Cal, sitting in your... Having seen someone get shocked, it would take something pretty extreme to launch a person, so I don't think it was quite that morbid. Yeah. Yeah, I felt like it'd have to be an actual explosion. Yeah. Yeah, I I felt like we were being a little harsh to Dis there, but I also wasn't like, wow, really? I felt like the other one was more correct. Hal's sitting in your mom's flower garden with his face in his hands. He's clearly been crying all morning, probably all of yesterday too. He and Tammy were really close. Whenever you guys used to play house in the creche, Tammy was always the mommy and Cal was the daddy. Even though you were just little kids, you always kind of giggled about how obviously they were going to be together forever, like a princess and a knight. Aww, that's really sad. Ah. And I was leveling her too. I was leveling friendship with her too. Remember, a lot in these games, playing the way you think is correct is only one way. You can also just play a personality of a character, what you think they or even you would say. Yeah. Letters got Eris. I mean, at least it was only, what's it called? Only a couple of minutes into the game. I've been playing less than an hour. So, it's not that bad. But yeah, I was kind of moving to her to be like my person I was going to level friendship with. So, bummer. Um, guess I have to pick someone else. I'm not sure if you've played Final Fantasy VII, but you understand millions of teenagers everywhere. Oh, no, no, no. The pain of those teenagers is much worse. Because, spoiler alert for Final Fantasy VII, but Aerith dies like halfway through the game, supposedly. I also feel like, I don't know if the Final Fantasy remake thing is done yet, but I kind of feel like the whole point of that remake is to undo that trauma and maybe save her. But I don't know. That's just speculation on my part. I don't even think the game is done. Yeah, 29-year-old game. Yeah. Actual spoilers, by the way. She has died in the remake at this point. Fair enough. Fair enough. So they re-traumatized everybody again. Hoping it would this time be different. Sorry for like the snuffling and stuff. Like I just kind of was crying when this was hard. I miss her too. Me really, really too. Tammy always liked these flowers. Sometimes I pick some for her. Don't tell your mom. Just stares at the flowers, tears running down his cheeks. Decides to give him space. Mars was also close with Tammy. Mars was like the protector of Tammy. Mars staring into space, looking somber. She doesn't even notice you come beside her, barely reacts when you say hello. I'm thinking about Tammy, she says quietly. She used to sit down the hill there, in the spot in the sun. Every morning she'd just sit there for hours in the sun, doing nothing, just being happy. You stare down the hill to the spot near the entrance to the quarters. You can imagine her there, working on some little craft project, humming to herself. I miss her too, or she's so nice to everybody. Yeah. And now she's dead. How's that fair? Of all the people, how come it had to be my friend? You don't have an answer. You never heard Mars call Tammy her friend before, but of course she was. Tammy was everyone's scared little sister, even though she was older than most of you. Mars clicks her tongue. Oh yeah, Administrator Seek is looking for you. I guess they need someone to do delivery jobs. She waves vaguely at the door behind her, distracted by her thoughts. Yeah, but I don't have 10 organizing yet. I have 0 organizing. It's kind of hard to get the thing to pop up, but look, it has nothing in it. Yeah. Well, I'm going to deal with this the way that I would actually deal with this, which is go to school. Try to distract myself. Yeah, let's study some life sciences. I wonder if there's a way that I can rearrange this where it will be enough. That's actually less. I did it! I did it! Um, they said long before that part came out that saving her was never on the table. For Aerith, okay. You spoiled something of note about Tammy and her death in the game. It's about past events, not future. Okay, I don't know what that means. The game intentionally hides some options from you for the first playthrough. Oh, so like maybe I could save her in the future? The colony is going to hold a funeral for Tammy. Do you want to attend? If you don't feel up to it, you could just skip it and take the month off instead, or you could get back to work. You encourage you to revisit it later. Okay. It's forcing me down a specific path. All right. Tammy, goddamn. Yeah, I'll attend. Yeah, I know. So here's the thing. We know that we are having dreams about things that may or may not happen in the future. Sometimes they come true, sometimes they don't. So my theory as to what is happening, and it's not been explained, because again, we're only an hour into the game, but my theory about what's happening is that when we went through the wormhole something happened to our ability to perceive time. And this affected us both into the past, because it was happening beforehand, and into the future. So, like, we're explaining things, or like, we're perceiving time in a different way than other people. That is true. Superbase is right. I sometimes, some of the stuff with letters in games like this in the past, shoehorned into bad ends, has never gone well in terms of holding her interest. That is true. But I feel like this case is different because it's not really a bad ending, it's a bad beginning. We get 10 years in this game. This is year 1 and month like 4. But yeah, no, I'm gonna continue. Yeah, because I feel like this happened so early that to me there's like nothing that I could have done about, like, if there is a way to have Tammy not die, I will be extremely surprised, because I I mean, maybe if I had not gone to the food court or whatever, but I'll be very surprised if there was a way to save her, because I had made relatively few choices to that point. Excuse me. Um, but either way, it kind of, like, the way that it feels is it feels like a canon event, but maybe not. I think we can do the funeral and then maybe run an ad break, and we'll keep going. The colonists gather in the recycling room. Bringing organics down to be recycled here is one of your chores, but you've only come here for a funeral twice. Both times, the colonists had passed away from natural causes during the 20-year-long journey from Earth. This is the first time there's been a funeral on Vertumna, and it's the first time for someone you actually knew. The mouth of Organics Recycler has been polished, and a wreath of yellow flowers placed over the opening. Inside, you can see a shrouded figure, Tammy's small, fragile body. Oh, something else is that I also knew that someone was probably gonna die because A, there was a content warning about it, and B, she had flash forward to like a shrouded body. So I figured somebody she knew was gonna die. It still hit me pretty hard emotionally, though. But seriously, are Tammy and the dad elves? Can I? Because the ears though. Um, Tammy's dad, Uncle Tonin, is here, as well as your parents and antecedent and the rest of the council. Cal is here with his mom and her partners, already crying in their arms. The room is packed with people. The feeling of grief is so thick you can taste it in your mouth. Governor Udicott stands before the assembled crowd. There are no words to ease the pain we feel today, she begins solemnly. There's only a sad company of those left behind to share the burden of that grief. Tammy was our child, she continues, one of the first humans to be born in space. She is a human. And the first to die on an alien planet. In short, she has exemplified the very arc of human accomplishment, bending hopefully toward our life beyond humble Earth. She's the first of us who can truly call Vertumna home. Her passing was as senseless as it was sudden. Losses like this are impossible to hold within oneself, a painful reminder that life is impossibly precious and fragile. But they also remind us, as always, that as a community, we are capable of great strength. Yukonot closes the door to the recycler. You hear Uncle Tonin sob over the hum of the particle disintegrators beginning their work. As a community, we remember Tammy. As a community, we return her body to the soil that nurtures us. In this way, Tammy, our child from the stars, will never be truly lost to us. The ceremony is adjourned, but few people stay back to console Uncle Tonin as he keep vigil over the recycler. Cal and Uncle Tonin hold each other and weep openly. Your mom stays behind to to receive Tammy's remains. As head of geoponics, she'll be responsible for adding them to the colony's precious supply of brown soil from Earth. Your dad accompanies you out of the recycling room. He clears his throat. I want you to know you don't need to be okay, he said, clasping his warm hand on your shoulder. If you want to take the rest of the month off, everyone's going to understand. I'm going to go back to school. You feel better just having said goodbye. Tammy was your friend, but you feel like the best way to deal with her losing her is to throw yourself into school and work. All right. Let us run the ad break, and then I will continue on. BRB.